So a common question when someone's purchasing a home is the seller able to pay for part or all of my closing costs as the buyer? And the answer is 100% yes. Now, depending on certain criteria, you can get up to a certain amount of what's called seller concessions, seller pay closing costs, which can cover prepaids like taxes and insurance, your closing costs, for example, lender fees, title fees, and then any points for the interest rate. So that all that can be covered with seller pay closing costs. So for example, an FHA loan, you can get up to 6% of the purchase price from the seller to pay your closing costs, as well as USDA, or United States Department of Agriculture loan. On a VA loan, you can get up to 4% from the seller to pay for any debt to be paid off, so up to 4% of the purchase price, as well as 6% from the seller to go toward any prepaids, points, and closing costs. So in total, you could actually get 10% from the seller to pay, for the buyer's closing costs if you're a veteran. For conventional financing, if you're doing less than 10% down payment on a primary residency, you can get as much as 3%. 10 to 25% down payment owner occupied is maximum of 6% of seller concessions. And then anything 25% more down payment, you can get up to 9% from the seller. If it's an investment property, same thing. If it's a second home, same thing. If it's an investment property, you can get as much as 2%. So, if you're looking to buy a 1 to 4 unit investment property, the most you can get from the seller to pay your closing costs is 2% of the purchase price. So those are the basic criteria, but to answer the question, can the seller pay for part, if not all, of my closing costs? The answer is absolutely yes.